Okay, I'm now going to go into the crawl space and begin to examine the complete damage of the termites. Okay, I want to make a survey and also show some of the problems that is arising. Okay, so let me have my coffee. Café sans sucre, which is a posh way of saying coffee without sugar. Yuck. Alright, so moving right along. This is an idea of what I'm up against right now. Oops, wrong one. Let me go get an extension cord and a little bit better light. So that one can actually view the situation. See, well organized toolbox. I know where everything is. It's in the toolbox. And here is my number one tool, I guess one could say. Now, when I make this video, it's going to be a lot of and all that kind of stuff. But that's okay. Make sure my light works. And one more thing, let me go grab a tape measure so that one can measure the extent of the damage. Actually, let me just kick this out of the way, and I can pass this down through this little hole. Oops. So now somewhere in this wild, wonderful world of sports, haha, I see it. Okay, so here goes. I have cleaned up a lot of the bathroom, and now we're going to descend into the land down under. One tape measure. The bathroom itself is a little bit over 8 feet by 6 feet, 48 square feet approximately. Now, remembering that we have two sides, there's a lake side which heads towards the back of the house or the front of the house, and then we have the street side. So first off, we're going to examine the lake side, and then after this we will examine the street side. Okay, so let me head down. Oh, most of the joists had some damage to it, but as you can see, not too much There is damage over here. This being an original joist right here. Sorry, this being a new joist and this being an original. The new joist did pretty good, except for some areas. So it doesn't take much to get that out. But the originals, and you will see what more the damage underneath. Okay, now the floor itself is comprised of two of the 2x8s, and then two, that looks like that's 3/4, no, 3/4, 5/8. Count the plies, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so we've got a 1/2 inch glue, and then 5/8 on top. This is the original floor right here, and we have, as you can see, you'll see where you've got 1/2 inch and 5/8. So a lot of the subfloor, the subfloor I guess you could call it, which is a 1/2 inch, is part of it that was damaged. The top floor really didn't get a whole lot of damage, but it did get some in places. Descending farther, this is where all the groaning comes in. Again, you can see damage right here. Hope the camera's on. And then going down underneath, one can see the damage as one descends. Okay, going towards the lakeside, most of the damage is over. I forgot the tape measure. Hold on, in a moment, Peter. There we go. Most of the damage is over towards the kitchen area. Well, there is some rather extensive damage in the middle of the dining room. Just laid on something sharp, and it wasn't my wit. Oh, it was a nail. Dang, no wonder that hurt. But I'm probably gonna leak there tonight, so we'll see. Okay, so moving right along. Okay, now you get an estimation of some of the damage. This being, I'm pretty sure this is a new one right here. That is part of the old one. And going back, you can, some of that discoloration that you can see is caused by the termite damage, and some of it is damage from mold and mildew. You can see evidence over there of what's left of a tunnel system. There are 3 tunnel systems that they built, and oodles and oodles of little tunnels. As we're going through, you'll see the damage is extensive on this portion here, which is roughly going into the middle of the dining room. And as I'm losing my camera. As I put my okay, so this portion has absolutely no support whatsoever. Okay, and there are quite a few of these floor joists. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is go from here, from this guy, over to that guy and then use that main beam as a support. Okay, which means I'm going to have to jack portions of this area up. But this is some of the stuff that we're dealing with, and you can actually see it. Okay, the only reason the floor never caved in was because of the original joist that went through. Okay, however, that is not the case anymore. So now you get some idea. All these bolts are bolts that were put in the last time the damage was repaired, and these are new joists. However, this is an original. Okay, when you see damage like this, oops, I'm going to have to readjust the camera. There we go. When you see damage like this, chances are the subfloor is also damaged. This one is, yeah, it's bad in places. However, you can see it like so. Okay, little pieces like this I'm not too much worried about. Okay, but when you look at the structure as a whole, like over here, this will have to be replaced. This is where the termites got in, try to get into this, which is a new joist, and they were not successful. However, you can see that there are pockets all over the place. See that right here, and right here, up through here, etc. Okay, so now how far did they get? Well, they got all over the place. This one I have not looked at yet, but again, it's up through here. It seems that what they did is that they got into here, and then they used this, because this is solid, this is all good. Behind these portions right here, that's the way it should be. I don't know what we're seeing right now. I hope we're seeing what I'm seeing. But what I'm looking at right now, of course, this is actually into the dining room under on top. You can see where you can actually move. Actually, you're moving that joist right here. So this is definitely going to have to be redone. And this area up through here, and I'm hoping that there is enough. I've ordered enough tile that you can see the damage right here. You should not be able to, it should be like this. Even that's bad right there. And coming over, this is a portion that I looked at yesterday. You can see this damage right up through here. You should not be able to do this, but okay. Use some damage. These trails right here, this is where they try to get into the good stuff, which is this, and they couldn't do it. There's a cypress knee, just what you need. So there is the edge of the bathroom, and this is of course the hallway. It comes in again, tremendous amount of damage. And this most of the damage is on the subfloor, the subfloor, but occasionally they've actually gotten their way up into the main floor. And what I'm going to do later on today is to come down and map this out as far as how much of the actual damage and how much needs to be repaired. That's solid. That's, I don't know. That's solid. That part is solid. So some of this, the only way you really know whether it's good is to tap it. And there are spots that I'm concerned with over here on this side also. But most of it seems to be just in this general area right here that I've seen so far. Okay, now that is a quick rundown of the damage. Again, this is underneath the what do you call it? Underneath the dining room right here. And this, of course, where I'm looking right now is on the incoming hallway from the garage. There is some damage, unfortunately. I wish they had gotten these knees instead of getting everything else. But this looks like this is one of the ways that they came in, because they do love cypress. It's like going to an ice cream store for them. There is damage all the way up to and inclusive the back of the driveway, as you can see. I mean, this is not just these little spots that I'm pulling, it's all over. So I will have to map all of this out just to see what we're dealing with. And it looks like at one point in time there was some severe leaking down, and of course that was or is where the water heater is. So what we're looking at right now is the that beam that we're looking at right now is one I put in to support the hallway. There's another support beam right in front of it. I don't remember why I put that one in. Oh, because the span, when I measured out the span, needed 16 feet or something, or 12 feet for 2x6s, 2x8s. So I put that in. Going back over onto this side. Wow, look at all these shells. These are pretty shells too. I guess you could say the seashell islands. Going back over onto this side. There is some damage, but I don't think it warrants total replacement. However, one can see where they have tried to make tunnels at one point in time. Okay, all this will have to be cleaned out, taken up, but you can see right here, no matter where you poke, the floor is rotten. Okay, so now going backwards over here, I'm going to look at this area right here. Solid. So it seems that they go up to this guy right here, and that's it. He probably says, okay, it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, with that in mind, let's go to the forward part. So you can see this actually extends quite a ways into the house itself. What I do need to do again, there are spots still that we're looking at, but for the most part the floor is solid. I will have to come down and probably remake these foundations. I don't know where this concrete came from, but it's here now. Okay, so this has to come down all of this is going to have to get jacked up, and this area over here is going to have to get brought up. Okay, so that's that. Going back to the front area. Oh, that pipe, by the way, is a pipe that ran in from the outside drain and the sink. So, with that in mind, I have some blocks down here already in the ground, which I can drag around. And now that I have this done, I can actually get back up through here. This is not an easy crawl, but it is what it is. It's really weird how they actually went for stuff and then they didn't go for stuff. This is the cutout that I made years ago when I cut the hole in the floor for the drain, for the oh, what is that thing called? A drain for the shower. Okay, so now coming back up into the front room, which is the room by the road. I'm getting stuck again. Stuck as in a piece of something sticking into me. Okay, one more thing. Foundation. This is the actual foundation of the house. Of course, it's filled with crap now. Alright, but this is the actual foundation, and those are my fingers. And this is what has to be brought up. I'm hoping, as this is double beamed, that I will be able to actually bring this whole corner up and then follow it all the way down. But we will see. I don't know how strong this concrete is right here. But I might be able to get away with it. I don't know. Okay, if not, have to go back to step number 2. Or plan B, as they say in the business. I don't have a plan B, so we're kind of stuck with what we got. Alright, so now going up into the forward room, I want to see what damage, show what damage we have up here. I know there is some damage because I can feel it when I walk across. Alright, so now, sometimes I wish we still lived in caves. Okay, you can see damage on the joists right here. However, again, I don't think it got all that far up. I think it got as far. Oh, this is some of the problems that we're dealing with. If you look at the where the vent is right now, underneath it, you see a small area that's being dug out. We got the same problem with the 2 in the front. Again, we need to get somehow, need to figure out a way of stopping that water from dripping in. Okay, going back to what I was saying. Ah, shoot. Something just stabbed me again. Well, whatever it was, it's gone. So now, maybe what I should do is bring the rake down here. Again, you can see damage on this floor. This is an original beam, but there's not too much damage. But it's enough.
Okay, that is going to have to be replaced. Again, damage over here. It's pockets, it's all pockets. Going back over on this side, which is the side going towards the garage. Get some idea of what I'm dealing with right now. Is this right here. And then of course this being pressure treated, even though it's pressure treated, they're still going in and still looking for places to get to. Alright, so now moving right along. Piece of the original floor. Yeah, creepy crawly. How the heck did that get up here? Oh no, that is it's a shadow from this thing right here. Okay, moving right along. Again, we have damage here. This is an old one. This is a new one. You can hear the difference. Excuse me. This was another support beam that was put in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that water pipe off there and I'm going to bring it up so that it follows the floor line. Because the guy told me one of the ways that they get in is they can actually a tunnel in through, so I need to fill everything up that I can. Now, this is a major concern right here. This is actually going into the bedroom. And I'm using my camera again. You have to do some of this. I hope this is coming out. So I really don't want to do this all over again. Rotten. See, some of this is just mold, but some of it is termites. I am hoping once I get this apart that I'm not dealing with anything on the band boards. Otherwise, that's going to mean the walls and everything. Going forward of this part right here. Again, all this looks pretty solid all the way up through here. So it's, again, it looks like they get as far as this, and that's where they stop. Okay, so that is a quick introduction to some of the damage that these little creatures can do. Now going over towards the band board, you can see this is totally rotten. That one's totally shot. That's a new one. That one has another one sistered up against it. So I'm hoping. Okay, and this is again the hallway. That's pretty solid. Well, even it's probably just mold. But so far the band boards seem to have escaped somewhat. Some of the damage that's being caused. Okay, enough of this. I just take a look at this one real quick. This right now where we are is underneath the hallway coming in from the coming in from the garage, and there is some damage. This is the old, new stuff, this is the old. So what I have to do now is to go get a piece of paper and a ruler and map this damage out and see where we're going to go from here. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the video. Again, this is weird. We get places where there's been water. Oh, let me just take a look at, oh god, this is rotten. See that? This is all rotten. But that one has a one that's sistered up against it, so, and that's all new wood. Relatively new, anyway. It's not mine. Okay. I need to bring a rake down here and rake all this stuff up. Oh god, there's a nail. Once I get all this raked up, then we will be able to proceed. So let me go get a piece of paper, a pencil, and a rake, and start getting all this stuff together, because this is ridiculous. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, tape measures down already. Or at least so now you have an idea of what I'm up against. What a piece of garbage. Okay.